Okay, people see me, people hear me. Oh god, look at this fucking chat. Look at this fucking nightmare. What a fucking joke this is. Oh, shit. This is why you get moderators and you don't just do everything in the last minute. Oh my fucking god, I'm already getting these super chats. Alright, thank you. Snanta, Sonic 4 is the real Sonic Mania. Well, he fucking gave me $5, so I guess it's true, guys. I guess it's fucking true. Shit. Okay. Maybe I should just completely ignore the chat and read the fucking Bible already. Can you guys see my mouse cursor? That's pathetic. I should have disabled that. Alright. You know what? You guys can fucking see it. People are in here. I fucking accidentally set up a Google Hangout stream when I was just clicking around. I was like, live streaming, what's this about? I click two things and it's like, hey, you set up a fucking Google Hangout stream in advance. I'm like, okay, shit, I guess I gotta do this now, so guess I'm gonna do it, guys. Alright, so maybe I should explain something. You guys all watched my shitty new video, right? You all know what the Sonic Bible is, right? I don't need to fucking explain what it is, right? I mean, it's the design document, and there's 3 of them. I guess I'm gonna have to read all 3 of them, but, you know, the best one is definitely the first one. And, yeah, I guess I'll just go through it page by page and we can examine exactly what's going on. Alright, so the earliest draft by Sega of America, it went a little something like this. I'm very bad at reading things, by the way. I always stumble over words. Even when I've read it like 3 times in advance just to prepare, I still fucking stumble over my words and get shit wrong. So, please don't hate me. The Sonic Story. Sonny Hedgehog was born on Earth in the early 21st century in the town of Hardley, Nebraska. Population 1,226. I don't know if that includes the hedgehogs or if that is just the human population, but he and his mother and 5 sisters live underneath a scraggly hedge beside the local burger joint and subsist on burger scraps, milkshakes, and the occasional slugger bug that crawls their way. I guess it's kind of weird because they're like going for like they're actual hedgehogs. They live under a hedge, but they're like people. So I don't know. It's very strange. They are a poor but happy family. Unfortunately, Sonny's dad died when Sonny was just a few days old after falling into a gurgling, festering vat of toxic waste dumped in a nearby pond. Mama Hedgehog does her best to keep Dad's memory alive, however, regaling the kids with stories of his goodness, resourcefulness, and great agility. He was the fastest hedge runner this town had ever seen, she exclaimed, as her family enjoyed tea and mealworms in front of a roaring fire. I hope all of you will take after him, she said wistfully as she cast a loving eye upon Sonny. Sonny looked up at the framed photo of his father, which stood proudly on the mantel. The firelight cast a strange yet comforting shadows on the earthen walls and the ceiling of the burrow. All at once, the face in the picture seemed to snuffle and wink. Did you see that, Mom? Dad winked at me. He's counting on me to be somebody great. Did you see? Did you see, Mom? Did you see? Said Sonny, jumping up and down excitedly. Shh, honey. I'm sure that wherever he is, in hedge heaven, your father is looking down on us and sends us all his love. She gathered the dinner plates and smiled gently at her son. Never had terribly good eyesight, she thought to herself, and yet there was something special about her son. Something she couldn't quite put her paw on. Alright. Let's just break this down for a second. So, they live under a hedge, which in a burrow, but they still have like a fireplace and a mantle with framed photos. It's just very peculiar, this whole fucking shit that's going on. It is like the terrible eyesight line. I don't know exactly what they were going for, but it is kind of funny considering, you can only see so far in front of you in the classic games, so I'm not sure if that was some sort of complete bullshit or if they're trying to justify, the fact that you can't see that far in front of you. Anyways, I guess let's go on to the next portion. There was something special about Sonny. Many something specials, as a matter of fact. During the first summer of his life, Sonny grew handsome and clever with thick, bushy, brown quills, a headstrong personality, and a rambunctious sense of humor. His favorite trick was to frequent the local bowling alley and curl up in the ball return, awaiting the grasp of an unsuspecting bowler. "Yow!" the bowler would shriek. "Must be that darned hedgehog again," the bowler would yell, and the whole team would crack up at the practical joke. And sometimes Sonny would change his tactic. He would curl up ever so tightly and stay perfectly still as the bowler tossed him down the alley. At the last moment, right before he hit the head pin, Sonny would uncurl and scamper away, routing the bowler's perfect score. Okay. Although he loved playing practical jokes on people, Sonny also loved people. While making the rounds for juicy tidbits and gossip, he would drop in on the ladies of the local quilting circle to offer a convenient pin or needle from his ample portable supply. He spent the summer frolicking in the town park with the other children, donating quills so they could scribble designs in the sandbox. In time, he noticed that his playmates drew the same pattern over and over again while pointing at him. Sonny, in this fashion, over a few weeks, Sonic learned to read and write. He was some hedgehog. He learned to read and write in a few weeks from people drawing in the sand. That's... What do you gotta say right there? Sonic the Hedgehog is fucking... Sonny... I don't know if it's supposed to be like Sonny or Sonny. I can't not say Sonny. When I see it, I just think Sonny. But it's entirely possible it's short for Sonny. Just putting that out there. Excuse me. All right. But more important than anything else he did, Sonny ran the hedges. Every night while everyone else slept, Sonny sprinted from one end to the other of the Sonny sprinted from one end to the other of the long hedge outside the burger joint. Sometimes he ran so fast that the world rushed by in a blur. He loved the feeling, pure exhilaration, a feeling like a dream, that he could fly up from the ground and do great things. That's quite foreshadowing, I gotta say. One day, his dream began to come to... Okay, goddammit. Herp Lightyear, $2 super chat. You want some suck? No, I don't want some goddamn suck. I'm trying to read the Sonic the fucking Hedgehog Bible here. One day, his dream began to come true. After downing a particularly big, greasy, late dinner, the head coach of Hardley's track team stepped out of the door of the burger joint and started walking toward his car. When he glanced toward the hedge, he could scarcely believe his eyes and wondered if he hadn't consumed one whopping beef glopper too many. A blue streak darted in and out of the long hedgerow, streaking from one end to the other. The coach drew out his stopwatch and tried to clock the object. Impossible, he muttered to himself. Bacana! He's too fast to clock! This creature was the fastest runner he had ever seen. You know, it's funny they specify a blue streak when they already set him up as being a brown hedgehog, brown quills, bushy, brown quills. I don't know if that was like a mistake or what, but I thought that was peculiar. Anyways, in no time at all, Sonny was on the team, competing in local, then regional track tournaments. And as the summer days lengthened, so did the line of trophies Sonny brought back home to line the burrow. The whole town was proud of him. The coach began talking about Sonny as an Olympic hopeful. And then nature and his mother called. You know what? He would get to the Olympics. He would get to the Olympics one day. He would compete with Mario. And he would lose. He would lose to Mario, get the silver medal in the track events and the 100-meter dash. because Sonic is just he's just a little bitch. Couldn't compete in the Olympics. You know, they even put him like he couldn't just automatically win every running event, so they just had to make him a very slow boy. Okay, Sonny, I know you want to be a great runner, and you will be someday. But first, you need to rest a bit. Don't you feel the chill in the air? It's nearly fall. Soon it will be time to hibernate, Mom. Gee whiz, I don't have time to hibernate. Can't I keep practicing all winter? He pleaded. But Mom was adamant, concerned that practice all year round during his first year of life would permanently stunt Sonny's growth. She insisted. She prepared the burrow for the long winter, lining Sonny's chamber with soft, dry leaves and pine needles. The coach in the Olympic stardom would have to wait until spring. Okay. All over town, the mercury shrank lower and lower, hunching down in a thick finger of silver. Farmers put up their corn and oats. Families canned summer produce, and the hedgehog family withdrew from the light of day, safely ensconced in the burrow. Sonny read a comic book and listened to the rattle of the brittle hedge branches and whipped about. God damn it! I completely fucked this sentence up. Sonny read a comic book and listened to the rattle of brittle hedge branches whipped about by the wind. He felt fat and content from a meal of candied apples that the townspeople had generously invited him to take home from their Halloween party. He chuckled as he remembered carrying back an entire bushel on his back, neatly skewered on his quills. Thank you, Marty Man 641. The Sonic Bible shouldn't tie into the Sonic canon. If it did, then God really loves Sega more than Nintendo. Luckily, none of this shit was canon. If you didn't watch the video, you didn't get this shit. This wasn't actually canon. This was just an early draft of the canon that was eventually canon, but it wasn't really canon. It was only canon in the West, but it wasn't mentioned anywhere really. So even if it was quote unquote canon, nobody gave a shit. Nobody gave a fuck. All right, where was I? Then suddenly he had an idea. There's really no reason why I have to stay here sleeping all winter. I can just tunnel over a few feet and pop up on the far edge of the hedge. Mom will never miss me, he thought, pleased at this stroke of cleverness, and so he began to tunnel. He tunneled 5, then 10 minutes, all the while thinking of the great track contests he would win in spring. As he counted his victories, his digging became more and more enthusiastic, and he grew more and more tired. Just a short nap, he thought, and then I'll tunnel upwards, so he curled up for a brief snooze. Harry S. Plinkett, oh my god, donated 2 Canadian American dollars to say hedgehogs have bad eyesight, you muff. Well, that would explain why they gave him bad eyesight in this shitty little story. You know, I shouldn't hate on this story too much. It's probably better than anything I could write. This is some terrible fan fiction. Yes, you're absolutely right, Speed, except it wasn't fan fiction. It was like... I can't call it canon because it wasn't canon, but it was someone was paid to write this, sort of. And it was sort of official. All right. 1 hour passed. Then one day, succumbing to natural instinct, Sonny with 3 N's drifted deep into hibernation, beyond alpha, beyond beta, beyond even delta waves. He felt peaceful and secure. The quiet was wonderful. But like most peaceful times in the 21st century, it didn't last long. Damn. Some fucking hard-hitting social commentary, guys. Like, damn. Oh god, I'm gonna have to do some fucking sound effects. Whir, clunk, clunk, whir, zip, whir. The earth above him shook. The ground grew warm, then hot. Sonny awakened, drenched in sweat and shaking. But not from fear. Everything around him was shaking. He looked up at the ceiling of his small cave and saw the earth churning. Zow! Time to clear out of here, he thought, digging furiously to escape. Whatever it was that was plunging toward him. Quick, 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 he panted. I must survive. And then he felt something. A rusty pipe just large enough to squeeze through. He scrambled through the pipe, his toes clattering on the metal. After what seemed innumerable twists and turns, he saw the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel, and I assume literal light at the end of tunnel as well. Relieved, he ran toward it and tumbled head over heels out of the pipe and into an immense room. Well, well, look who we have here. Irenaceus Europaeus. A trim, kindly, mustachioed man bent over Sonny. Sonny had been called many things in his life, but never something so strange as this. Oh God, this is a thing. That's absolutely right, Byron. This is a real thing, and thank you very much, Dean Sitton, former Sega employee, also the guy who gave Robotnik his English name in the Western canon, was the person who found these. He dug them out of an old box, and he sold them online, and someone on Sonic Retro bought them and scanned them. All right. All you all right? The man asked. Wait a minute, silly of me. Let me aim the lingua scrambleroom at you and see what you've got to say. Sonny was too dazed to protest as the man wheeled over an odd-looking contraption that was somehow shaped like all the letters in the alphabet mashed together. What the fuck? He pointed at Sonny. My name's not Acius, it's Sonny. And what's happening out there underground? Sonny heard himself squeak in an accusing tone of voice. He had never spoken human before. That's a little weird considering all the other shit they said, but... Oh, that. So sorry it disturbed you. That's my Cogwinder retractable particulate corer. I'm using it to dig for emeralds. Found 6. Looking for the 7th. Then my work will be done, the man explained, smiling and speaking very quickly. He seemed to have a lot, as one word, shameful, on his mind, and few words to waste. He had already returned to an enormous control panel at the far end of the room, where red and green lights danced and ribbons of paper spewed from a printer. Sonny was too amazed to say anything more. It was obvious this man was some sort of genius, or totally wacko, or perhaps both. Sonny trotted across the gleaming floor of the lab, marveling at the dazzling array of contraptions lined up along the walls, atop counters, and piled high on shelves. What are you doing with all this stuff? Who are you? Sonny demanded, stamping his foot with impatience. The magnificence of the lab had not put a damper on his boldness. Curiosity, how I love curiosity. You have the makings of a top-notch scientist. If only you could hold on to this admirable quality, the man proclaimed, now giving his full attention to Sonny. My name, see here, he pointed to the tag on his lapel of his starchy white lab coat, is Dr. Ovi Kintobor. You can call me Dr. K. And my mission, my little friend, is to save the planet from destruction. And for now, that is all you need to know. Unless, of course, you can help me find the Gray Emerald. Thank you, Scott SFDD, for £1. God, I don't know. I didn't know the lore of the 7th Emerald, the lore of the Gray Emerald, dated all the way back to this shitty Western canon. I don't know if that influenced. I don't know what made. I never knew the full story, or I still don't know the full story of why are there 6 emeralds in the first game, and then there's 7 emeralds in the second game. Think about it. Doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Who cares? Even back then, even back in this shitty thing, they're talking about that 7th emerald. So. Think about that. Gray Emerald. 6 other emeralds, saving the planet. During the long months of winter, with a diligence that had nearly matched the intensity of Kintobor's experiments, Sonny drew out some of the stories behind these seemingly disparate topics. Kintobor, Sonny learned, was a brilliant neutrobiologist and former team leader of the government's controversial Nuvolution research. The goal of the research was to somehow reverse the effects of accumulated centuries of pollution and restore Earth to its natural, pristine state. The Nuvolution team of biologists, physicists, botanists, and astronomers worked assiduously towards this goal for 15 years. Then, on the verge of a breakthrough concerning the structure and behavior of free radical subatomic particles, funding for the work was cut. With their project doomed to oblivion, the scientists scattered. Many team members took lucrative positions in the private industry. Others went mad with frustration. Dr. K confirmed deranged, you dirty round eyes. Thank you, Harrius Plinkett. 2 more Canadian dollars. But Kintobor abhorred such resignation to one's fate. Instead of bailing out, he sabotaged the government security system and moved the lab, lock, stock, and barrel, to a former radioactive dumping site in northern Nebraska, several miles away from Hardley. He figured that he had selected the perfect site. What better place to test his solution than underneath the nation's most notorious, top-secret, toxic wasteland? What the fuck is this, a Tom Clancy novel? What the fuck is all this shit? What the fuck is all this shit? Oh, thank you, Shadow. For $2 Australian. Have some filthy Australian currency. What is $2 Australian? Like 5 cents American? No, I'm just kidding. All things natural. All creatures left untouched and uncontrolled by humans. This summed up Kintobor's concept of the beautiful and the sublime, and as an extension of this passionate philosophy, besides working to save the planet, Kintobor had another goal: to rescue any poisoned or struggling animals he managed to find in the course of his excavations. Dozens of bunnies, squirrels, ducks, and even baby piglets were among the regular group of guests residing in the lab. All were welcome to spend time gaining strength, resting, and eating Kintobor's excellent cooking. When fully recovered, they were encouraged to return to the wild. During this particularly severe winter, the animals were only too happy to remain in the lab until spring, a fact that was very good news for Sonny. Day after day, he delighted in making friends and playing games with the other animals, and even teaching several to read and write. When Kintobor noticed Sonic's academic skills, a light flashed over his head. "Sonny," he said, "vacation's over. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Henceforth and forthwith I'm making you my assistant. That is, if you accept, of course," he added. Sonny was thrilled at the prospect, because although Sonny had never known his father, Kintobor reminded him of the kind face in the photograph. Oh, thank you very much, Dan. $10. Disappointed this isn't the real Bible. Well, it can be, guys. It can be. We just have to spread the word of the true Sonic Bible, draft number 1. The days flew by, with Sonny by Dr. K's side almost constantly. Sonny had learned computer science from building small portable computers to programming the mainframe. He learned about physics, the old laws, as well as a few new theories set forth by Dr. K. His curiosity was boundless, and led him into every part of Kintobor's lab as he documented the results of each experiment. As the lab was vast, Sonny took to running at top speeds to perform all his duties. How odd, he thought to himself, how odd, he thought, to find himself gradually replacing dreams of Olympic glory with a dedication to science and helping the other animals. Still, he knew he'd never be a nerd like Dr. K. So, partly for relaxation, and partly for Dr. K's amusement, he logged in several hours a day on the supersonic treadmill that Kintobor had built for him. Slowly, Sonny built his speed to 200, 400, then 761 miles per hour, the speed of sound. Then, impossibly, he crossed all known limits of acceleration and began running at the speed of light! Alarmed, Kintobor tried to slow down the treadmill. Although he managed to gain control of the machine and bring his friend's velocity down slowly, a change had come over Sonny. Instead of his unexceptional, grayish-brown color, most of his body had turned cobalt, and his quills stood straight back in a stiff mohawk. There it is, folks. Mohawk. Damn, now that's what I call a fucking paragraph. Alright, let's get back to this shit. "My word," exclaimed Kintobor, who struggled to comprehend what had just happened. "I think you've gone blue from the advanced non-concussive cobalt effect," he said, helping Sonny from the treadmill. 186,000 miles per second! You're so fast, we should call you Sonic. Supersonic, even. How do you like that?" he cried, dancing around the lab like a demented pixie. "Yeah, I like that," answered Sonny. "From now on, my name is Sonic. Now watch how fast I can help you get your work done." Thank you, Speed, again for $2 more. Surrender now or prepare to fight. And thank you also, Wave King Joe. I know Cyber's heel needs a new video. Alright. What the fuck, guys? Speed of light? What the fuck? Come on, guys. Come on. What the fuck is up with this shit? What the fuck is up with this fucking shit? Alright. Sonny did speed up the pace and success of Kintobor's experiments, but with all his mental and physical agility, he was unable to find the Grey Emerald, let alone understand why Kintobor was so frantic over it. What's the point of finding another emerald when we've got 6 perfectly good ones, he wondered to himself. That very same day, he stumbled upon the answer. Running through a part of the lab that was still a bit unfamiliar, he tripped over a thick mass of wires. That's strange, he thought. Dr. K's always so tidy with his equipment. He followed the cords and cables to a small room that he hadn't ever been in before. There, in the center of the room, stood a large machine comprised nearly totally of slender gold rings. The gold surfaces looked as though they had been crafted and polished with great care. Ah, I see you found the reverse quantum bioformulator. Excellent, said Dr. K, who had hurried over to Sonic's side. Why didn't you tell me about this thing? And what do you use it for? Asked Sonic. He felt a bit hurt that Dr. K had kept the machine a secret from him, and fairly bristled with impatience. Did you ever ask about it? Dr. K countered. No, but now you are, so now you'll have your answer. But it's a long story, so let's have a bit of lunch, he suggested, pulling a few hard-boiled eggs and muffins from a lunch bag he had stuffed in his pocket. They pulled up chairs around the reverse quantum bioformulator and began to eat. As usual, Sonic gulped down his meal in a flash. He was an old pro at fast food. Kintobor set a half-eaten egg on the counter near the machine and pulled a heavy iron key from his lab coat pocket. He walked over to a tall, lead-encased cabinet in the corner of the room, unlocked its door, and drew out a black, velvet bag. These are the emeralds I told you about, Sonic, he said, carefully placing each on the black velvet. They were truly incredible. Deep, brilliant colors with perfect Tiffany-cut shapes. Each must have weighed nearly a pound. They're perfect. Cut them myself, Kintobor boasted. They contain a microlytic copy of all the inert energy of every gross and disgusting impulse or deed done by humans since the beginning of time, he continued. Sonic gulped. You mean they're evil? Thank you, Recusant14. You're doing the good Lord's work, Cyber. Looking forward to the next video. Well, this is sort of a video. It's a very bad video, but it technically counts. Sonic gulped. You mean they're evil? Yes, evil and highly unstable. Pure chaotic energy, Kintobor sighed. I transmorphed the chaos of the world into the emeralds using the RQBF. Now the only remaining thing to do is to stabilize them with the Grey Emerald. Until we find the Grey Emerald, we're treading on very thin ice. If the emeralds are disturbed, in theory, they will double the amount of evil in the world. Stabilized, they will rid the world of evil and pollution. That done, I plan to launch them into space where they can harm no one, he said. It's a little strange, but, let's just accept it for now. Sonic's eyes grew wide. So this is why Kintobor was always in a rush. He was holding the fate of the world in his hands, reflected in the sparkling surfaces of the 6 emeralds. Dr. K noticed the expression on Sonic's face. Don't worry, he said. There aren't many forces that will push these beauties over the edge. The only problem I know of, I guard against by keeping them in this lead cabinet. That problem is, of course, he didn't have to finish his sentence. Radiation, screamed Sonic, staring up at the computer screen on the wall. The next few moments brought unspeakable panic and confusion. The monitor glowed red with a display of the impending wave of radiation that had somehow penetrated the Earth's surface and was heading straight for the lab. Kintobor scrambled to stuff the emeralds back in the bag. Sonic raced to the lead cabinet and flung open its doors, but in doing so, jostled the RQBF. Kintobor lunged for the cabinet, lost his balance, and spilled the emeralds onto the floor. The RQBF turned on and it cast a weird, sickly beam of light, first on Dr. K, then on the emeralds, then on the half-eaten egg on the countertop. Sonic took shelter in the cabinet and reached for Kintobor's arm to drag him inside. Then everything stopped. There was no explosion, no shattered bits of glass or twisted metal, just silence. Sonic awakened in the pitch black of the lead cabinet. Dr. Kintobor was not inside with him. Sonic struggled to open the door and peeped out cautiously, and perhaps the only cautious act of his life. There lay Kintobor, sprawled across the floor of the lab, but now he looked different. Hideous, quite round, with no muscle tone. His lab coat now stretched tight across his enormous girth. His arms were spread wide, distended by the buckets of flesh encumbering his frame. But the most alarming transformation was not in his physical person, it was in a small, significant detail that Sonic had by now mostly taken for granted. The name on Kintobor's lapel pin. It was different. Sonic stared at it in shock. Dr. Ivo Robotnik was his dear friend's new name. Then Sonic understood everything. Moments passed. It's difficult to say how long Sonic stood staring down at his friend. He realized he had to try to rescue his animal buddies and leave the lab, in a hurry. If what he thought had happened had really happened, Kintobor had absorbed the evil of the Chaos Emerald, as well as the disgusting shape of the hard-boiled egg. He would awaken as the vilest, most evil personality on the face of the earth, set to strike out at anything in his path. Kintobor, or shall we say Robotnik, stirred. "What are you gawking at, you ugly thing? Stand still so I can rip your quills out and turn you into an armadillo bot," Robotnik growled. Sonic jumped back and rushed out of the room to the main lab. Scampering at the speed of light, possibly literally, he had just enough time to grab a PC and race towards his friend's quarters. But by remote control, Robotnik had already sealed the door to the animal habitat. Sonic bolted out the back door to the lab, then remembered the RQBF. He ran back to grab as many gold rings as he could. Then Sonic scampered away at the speed of light, again possibly literally, Robotnik's curses echoing behind him. And that is the end of the first draft of the Sonic the Hedgehog Bible. And wow, what a fucking draft it was, guys. What the fuck was that about? What are your thoughts on this? Let's ask you guys. What do you think about this? Should this have been made canon? Do you still hold this canon in your own mind? Because I do. This is some good shit, man. This is some good shit. I didn't even mention it in the latest video because I thought it was beyond obvious, but yes, Kintobor, spelled backwards, is Robotnik. Takes place in Nebraska. I don't know, man. It's only like 13 pages, but this fucking thing, man. Well, I guess now that we've taken a look at the first draft, we should take a look at the second draft. Second draft is quite different. It's not the same format. It's it's more of like, it's something that they would give to potential licensees to better understand the product. And there is some story stuff in here, but it's also not just one section. It's divided into a table of contents, as you can see here. So I'm not going to read the table of contents, obviously. Not all of this stuff is nearly as interesting, so I'm not sure if I'm actually going to read through every single thing. But here, I'll read through some of the story stuff because, you know, you guys should see what's different. So, draft. It's slightly confusing because the first draft is just called sonicbible.pdf, and the second draft is called sonicbibledraft1.pdf, and the third draft is sonicbibledraft2.pdf. So this is the second draft, but it is draft1.pdf. But yeah, let's just take a look and see what's different. It's sometime in the 21st century, on the planet of Mobius, Sonic the Hedgehog, an orphan, grows up with his forest friends in the Green Hill Zone. From each of his animal friends, he picks up different skills and habits. Not all of them are good. Speed, cleverness, but also stubbornness and cockiness are among the traits he develops, plus a certain amount of forest smarts, comparable to street smarts. Night Art Dog, thanks for stopping by. So, right off the bat, we're not in Nebraska, we're not on Earth, we're on Mobius, Green Hill Zone. And Sonny doesn't have a weird hedge family with his mom and sisters. He's an orphan, and he just has his animal friends. So, I don't know what to say about forest smarts, that's pretty weird, but this is starting to actually be pretty much what you'd expect to see from Sonic games. Yeah. By accident, Sonic tunnels into the laboratory of Dr. Ovi Kintobor, a brilliant scientist who is trying to detoxify Mobius by transferring the planet's moral and physical evils into the 6 Chaos Emeralds. Kintobor possesses the 6 Chaos Emeralds and has packed most of the world's evil into them, but finds they are highly unstable and may blow at any moment. To stabilize the emeralds, Kintobor is looking for a 7th, Gray Emerald, which will contain their violent forces. Yep, that's pretty much the same. It's kind of weird that they're like, it doesn't just transfer the pollution, it transfers the planet's moral evils. So does that mean, like, if he did this, then nobody on the planet would just be a dick anymore? Because if so, it's kind of like overriding free will, wouldn't you say? Don't think about it. So this is kind of interesting. There's a little bit of, like, notes here. Like, let's just read it first. Sonic and Kintobor become friends. Under Kintobor's tutelage, Sonic develops his natural hedge running abilities and soon runs at the speed of sound. In the process, his quills and most of his body turns blue permanently. Kintobor develops special red sneakers for Sonic, which protect his feet and enhance his speed. So we now have the origin of his shoes, and I think they cut the running at the speed of light shit. That was some weird shit. Oh yeah, Sam Barr says, just skip to the part of chili dogs. Even though that first draft had all this stuff where he ate sloppy, greasy hamburgers and milkshakes, there wasn't anything about chili dogs. I don't know where the fuck chili dogs came from, but it wasn't this. It must have been one of the fucking people working on one of the Deke cartoons was like, yeah, let's have some fucking chili dogs, man. That'll be good. I don't know where chili dogs came from. Alright. Kintobor installs PCs throughout the 6 zones of Mobius so that anyone passing by can input information that might lead to the discovery of the Grey Emerald. He also has his amazing transforming machine ready to zap the last bit of evil into the Grey Emerald and stabilize the other 6 Chaos Emeralds. The amazing transforming machine consists of thousands of gold rings that constantly flow good karma around the machine's core and cool it down as it transfers evil from one object into another. Again, this is very peculiar, the way they're saying, like, it transfers moral evil from one object into another. And yes, amazing transfer machine, ATM. What kind of shit-ass acronym is that? Anyways, I forgot to look here. I guess, like, there's, like, additions, like, not is supposed to be a reference to him turning into Robotnik. And there's also this shit where it says, born fast, not Superman without kryptonite. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know exactly what that means, but, you know. And here, again, they've replaced karma with positive energy. I don't know if I should. I'll just read the originals, then we can look at the revisions. When a wave of solar radioactivity bursts through a hole in the ozone layer and hits the lab, the transforming machine goes bananas and zaps Kintobor in a nearby hard-boiled egg. But since Kintobor is already good, and since the egg is rather non-committal, the machine reverses his personality and changes him into the evil Dr. Ivo Robotnik. The Chaos Emeralds are thrown into space, caught in 6 psychedelic warps of confusion. The golden rings of the amazing transforming machine are scattered throughout the zone. So there's a lot of shit crossed out here. Like, let's look at this. One day, a solar pulse of radioactivity. I guess they wanted to be more clear about where the fuck this solar radioactivity actually came from. And then, they originally called the special stage warp, like rings, like warps of confusion. I don't know what the fuck the deal with that is, but re-energizing power mazes were apparently another name that they were considering using. That's very odd. And then, yeah, the Chaos Emerald that is crossed out and with oops written. I guess I made a mistake. And then the rings were from the wrong machine. They made a mistake, so they had to correct themselves. Again, it's just a draft, guys. It's just a draft. It's just a draft, guys. Don't worry about it. But that's interesting that, you know, you gotta admit, that is interesting that they're trying to provide context for a couple of things. Like, oh, why are there monitors Sonic can jump on? Oh, because Kintobor installed PCs throughout the zones, which is like, what the fuck? But, you know, hey, they're doing their best to provide context for gameplay thing. And same thing with the rings. Apparently they decided the rings needed an origin story. Not sure what that's about, but there you go. Alright. Kintobor bloats up like a gigantic egg, turns against Sonic, and threatens to wage bio-geophysical warfare against all of Mobius until he can completely ruin and control the planet. He plans to capture and transform all of Sonic's friends into mechanized monsters and use them to attack Sonic. He plants dastardly mechanized traps in the 6 zones of Mobius. Again, it implies there's only 6 zones in all of Mobius, which... a little, again, there's only one game out, so they're just going with what they had to work with. Beginning with the nearest, the Scrap Brain Zone, which is right outside of his lab. Sonic barely escapes from Robotnik's clutches and races back home to the Green Hill Zone. Noticing the disappearance of his friends, he quickly decides he must fight his way through the zones, find Robotnik, and free his friends. It sounds like he's in the lab, and then he runs all the way through all 6 zones, and then he has to run all the way back through them again. That's some peculiar shit. Okay, and in addition to this little synopsis, this was just the synopsis of the Sonic myth. The next section is it's a guide to the characters. Sonic the Hedgehog features a classic clash between good and evil, as Sonic battles through the 6 zones to free his friends and defeat Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Sonic and Robotnik are not flat characters, however. Each is a true individual with strengths, failings, and vulnerabilities. On the following pages, we briefly describe the main characters in Sonic the Hedgehog to help you better understand their personalities, lifestyles, and objectives. A strong product line or promotion should reflect their personalities in order to obtain the maximum benefit of the Sonic the Hedgehog property. Alright, here's guide to characters. Number 1 is Sonic. History. Orphan. They're going with this orphan thing. They totally cut his family out. Again, wasn't it weird how, like, he had his mom in the first part of the story, and she said a few dumbass things. He had 5 sisters, but they were never mentioned again after their initial mention, and they never said anything, so they were completely pointless. So I guess they're like, why don't we just stick with what actually works, which is just Sonic. So orphaned at an early age, Sonic grows up in the forest of the Green Hill Zone, and falls in with a clan of rambunctious animal friends. His friends teach him all the tricks they know. From Rabbit, he learns how to outrun every other creature in the forest. Okay, that's kind of weird that he learns that from Rabbit. From Squirrel, he learns how to lob acorns down from the trees to pester the unsuspecting victim below. Chicken teaches him how to squawk like a rooster and wake everyone up in the morning. Seal shows him how to dive and swim. And Pig introduces him to the delights of wallowing in the mud. What the fuck? So obviously this is before his animal friends had names, so they're just going by what they are. But why are the things that he learns so retarded? I don't know what to say. So, from Rabbit, he learns how to outrun every creature. Again, it's a little peculiar that if that's like kind of makes it sound like that's how he learned how to be fast, which is weird. From Squirrel, he learns how to lob acorns down from trees to pester the unsuspecting victim below. What? Why did that happen? What's the point of that? Where does that come in with Sonic? Chicken, which is Cucky, by the way. Just because he doesn't have a name Cucky yet doesn't mean he ain't Cucky. Chicken teaches him how to squawk like a rooster and wake everyone up in the morning. Does Sonic do that? And what does this mean? Does he make noise? Are they asking, does Sonic make noise? Okay. Seal teaches him how to dive and swim, which again is quite amusing considering Sonic cannot swim. And Pig introduces him to the delights of wallowing in the mud. What the fuck were they going for with this? What does that mean? Why did that get put into a thing? Okay, I need to stop getting hung up on this. Sonic meets Dr. Robotnik by accident after tunneling into his secret underground lab. Robotnik, before he turns evil, befriends Sonic and lets Sonic visit from time to time to watch experiments. When Robotnik becomes evil, Sonic escapes from his lab, returns to the Green Hill Zone, and tries to warn his friends of the impending planetary disaster. Again, this is a very summarized version, although again, it's kind of weird that usually they refer to him as Kintobor before he returns evil, and then he turns evil and he becomes Robotnik, but whatever. Physical characteristics, comma, abilities. Sonic is short, agile, and totally cool. He's confirmed short. Ha! Fucking manlet. Anyways, he spiky quills turned blue during an experiment with Robotnik, in which he ran on a treadmill at 765 miles per hour, breaking the speed of sound. So again, seems like they're totally cutting that speed of light shit. You and I had a feeling like, what the fuck is this speed of light shit doing in here? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. I mean, even running at the speed of sound doesn't really make sense. When you play the game, you know you're not going at the fucking speed of sound, but whatever. Canonically, whatever. I guess you can go the speed of sound. When Robotnik turns evil, Sonic develops his famous supersonic spin attack to defeat legions of mechanized warriors. Sonic can also tunnel through walls, swim underwater, and jump high into the air. Although he can't fly. Just in case you weren't aware of that one. Also, apparently they were considering ditching this treadmill shit because there's this caption that just says "Born Blue," which I assume means they're thinking that he and then when Sonic develops his famous supersonic spin attack, the note is he's had it. So I guess he already had it. So some of this shit wasn't even canon by the time it was even written. By the time it was done being typed up, it was already non-fucking canon. Alright. Okay, here, what did I do? Okay, to defeat Legion of Mechanized Warriors, Sonic can also tunnel through walls, swim underwater, no he can't, and jump high into the air, although he can't fly. He's particularly good at doing the loop and playing pinball in the many traps and mazes the evil Robotnik sets up for him. Again, I know what they mean, that he's bouncing around like a pinball, but the way that it says, it kind of just says that he's like playing a game of pinball. Just saying. Sonic's only physical failings are his poor eyesight and trouble coming to a stop once running with supersonic speeds, which has apparently been revised to. Sonic's only failings are his lack of fear, etc. Okay, whatever. We're going to go by what's actually typed here, mostly. Every once in a while, he moves too fast to keep good balance and has to struggle to keep from falling when he's on the edge of a cliff. I guess that's sort of a reference to how he is in the game and he's a little hard to control. Fuck it, who gives a shit. Mental abilities. Sonic thinks he's perfect, but he's not. Oh, fucking destroyed! Forest smart. Sonic is of average intelligence. Fucking destroyed. He has to struggle to figure out the solution to a problem or puzzle. Usually, he relies on his great charm and physical capabilities to pull him out of tight spots. Sonic never analyzes a situation. He just plunges in. He's a hedgehog of action. That's It's a surprisingly amusing short paragraph. I guess he's very low int, high charisma, high strength. Attitude, comma, personality. Carefree and radically cool. That's what Sonic is all about. Nothing deep. That's not to say Sonic is an airhead. When he's not teasing you or playing a joke on you, he's probably the best friend you could ever hope for. He cares about his forest pals and delights at coming to their rescue. Then there's Sonic's attitude. When he wants something, he goes for it. 150%. Sonic does not respond well to authority. He just doesn't have time to listen to someone else tell him what to do. Instead, he'd rather figure it out for himself, or just do whatever he needs to be done without thinking about it. He's cocky, independent, self-assured, but not obnoxious or cruel. One more clue about Sonic's personality. He's a bit more than a vain... He's more than a bit vain about his blue spikes. His spikes are always perfect. In Sonic's world, slobs finish last. Slobs also could be replaced with imperfectionists. Likes, comma, dislikes. Sonic loves fast footwork, fast cars, red convertibles. Hey, that ends up being canon in all that promotional art we saw / some of the racing games. Skateboards on hills. Finally got one of those in Sonic Generations. And video games. You heard it here first, guys. Sonic loves video games. Anything or any way to move through life at top speed. His favorite diet, fast food and candy bars. What else? Sonic loves burgers, tacos, nachos, fries, anything chocolate, and the strongest espresso or cola if it's a hot day. Literally doesn't even say chili dogs. What the fuck? No chili dogs. What the fuck? Where? No chili dogs. Okay. Sonic doesn't eat or drink diet anything. He needs the calories. He's a fat fuck. But when he does slow down, there's nothing Sonic likes more than hitting the beach with his friends, watching some shapely hedgehogettes stroll by, and catching some rays. That's when he's not body surfing, windsurfing, or competing in contests to see who can build the most awesome sandcastle in the shortest amount of time. The only thing Sonic stresses out over is the times he must wait for a trap to move into position so he can get on over or around it. Patience is not one of Sonic's strong points. If he falls into the hands of a slow player, he'll cop his trademark, "What's the matter with you, dude?" attitude, and tap his foot with impatience. What are Sonic the Hedgehog's objectives in life? To have fun and enjoy the ride. Life is a blast if you don't stop to think about it. That sums up Sonic's philosophy. As long as he has his supersonic speed, his sneakers, and his good buddies, Sonic is one cool and happy dude. You know what? Not the worst outlook on life, I gotta say. But okay, so those are his objectives in life. What are his objectives in Sonic the Hedgehog game? With his friends gone, who Sonic got to hang out with? Sonic won't rest until he's gotten through every zone on Mobius and freed his buddies from the clutches of Robotnik. He's also trying to collect all the Chaos Emeralds so they won't add to Robotnik's power, and find the Gray Emerald so he can get the world back in order. But you can't fucking do that. So, think about it. Look at this fucking shit. Look at this fucking shit. Fucking spell Robotnik's name wrong. These fucking guys. Who the fuck do they think they are? Robotnik lays out an incredible arsenal of weapons and traps to slow Sonic down. But Sonic is persistent. He knows he has to find Robotnik to free every last one of his friends. So Sonic chases the demonic doctor back to his lab. Sonic's hope is to use the amazing transforming machine to turn Robotnik, spelled wrong again, from evil to good again, and regain his old pal. On the way, Sonic collects the golden rings that will reassemble the amazing transforming machine and hops on PCs to release their benefits. Alright, guys. That was some bullshit. Nobody gives a fuck about Sonic. The only thing people give a fuck about is Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Spelled correctly. Until his unfortunate accident with the amazing transforming machine. God, that's such a fucking bad name. I know this is just a draft. They didn't even force this shit down our throats or anything. Ooh, what a bad name, though. Dr. Ivo Robotnik, once formerly Ovi Kintobor, isn't an evil scientist with an egg-shaped physique. He is a kind man of science with a svelte body and a finely honed mind. For the past 15 years, Kintobor labors in his underground lab, conducting experiments to detoxify the planet Mobius and transfer the evil and pollution into the 6 Chaos Emeralds with the help of his ultra-radical invention, the amazing transforming machine. After all 6 Chaos Emeralds are zapped with the planet's evil, Kintobor discovers they are highly unstable, and so must search for a 7th, Gray Emerald, which will lock up their evil and contain it. He then plans to bury all the emeralds deep within the frozen core of Mobius, where they will be rendered harmless for eternity. Ooh, looks like someone realized shooting evil rocks into space wasn't the best idea here, huh? Wasn't the best plan. Kintobor befriends Sonic, boosts his speed, and gives him red sneakers. Kintobor even lets Sonic watch his experiments and fills him in on his ambitious plans to clean up the planet. Apparently the note on this section is, why? And the note on the next section is, how? Someone was very confused here. Before he can find the Gray Emerald and realize his plans, however, a wave of radiation hits his lab, causing the amazing transformer machine to zap the character somehow mixed with molecules of a nearby half-eaten hard-boiled egg. Blah, blah, blah. We already know this shit. Chaos Emeralds catapult into space, locked into 6 separate warps of confusion, also called secret zones. Not special zones. Secret zones. Not that secret. What are you going to do? The amazing transforming machine breaks up, its rings crashing / blowing through the roof of the lab and scattering over the surface of Mobius. That does explain how the fuck they got there, considering in the first draft it was just, where the fuck did those fucking rings come from, guys? I don't know. Now, thoroughly evil, Robotnik vows to destroy Sonic, because Sonic is the only one who knows about his new evil identity and the scope of his destructive capabilities. What? That doesn't make any sense, though, because shouldn't he want to destroy anyone anyways? Ah, fuck it. Who gives a fuck? Once a trim, muscular hunk of a man, Robotnik is now rotund, with a decidedly egg-shaped physique and a deceptively jolly face. It's not very jolly in most of the American advertisements, but, you know, whatever. In fact, he resembles a Humpty Dumpty gone mad, with spindly arms and legs stuck onto an egg-shaped torso. He is bespectacled, bald, and nearly bulging out of his lab coat. Plus he smells like a rotten egg. Because he is so round, Robotnik has trouble seeing his feet, walking long distances, and standing for long periods of time. He remedies this by building a spaceship, which is perfectly molded to his form, in which he can zip around the zones and launch attacks on Sonic. He also installs elevators in the lab so we won't have to climb its many stairs. Oh, that's good to know. It's funny they described his little Eggomatic as a spaceship. I'm not sure the spacefaring capabilities of his fucking Eggomatic ship from Sonic 1, you know. It's not even fully enclosed. Ah, fuck it. Why am I complaining about this? Mental abilities. Although he looks like an egg, Robotnik is definitely not cracked. Unfortunately, he still possesses nearly all of his formidable intellect and now uses it for evil purposes. Robotnik holds every advanced scientific credential possible from all 11 Ivy League universities on Mobius, as well as the Mobius Prize in Physics and Biotechnology. Now evil, he plans to further augment his mental capacities by embedding a ceramic neural network in his brain so that he can carry out physics calculations in his sleep. Holy shit. This guy is a fucking, like, serious academic. We should really respect Robotnik. Right? That's what I'm saying. He just wants to carry out physics calculations in his sleep, guys. He's just trying to make the world a better place. Robotnik is a nasty, mean-spirited soul with no redeeming characteristics. Damn. Literally no redeeming characteristics. He does not hesitate to destroy or control any creature who stands in the way of his plan to take over Mobius. Robotnik has always adored, and still adores, eggs. Hard-boiled, scrambled, over-easy poached, or in an omelet. Now, he especially enjoys them raw with a dash of Tabasco. He eats with his hands, very slowly. It is not a pretty sight. That's a very strange, like, mental image that they're, like, drawing here. Robotnik dislikes any creature with an independent spirit. Hence, he hates Sonic. Also, he realizes Sonic is onto his plot to take over and despoil Mobius. That was a section entitled Likes, Dislikes. Like, what is this, a fucking dating profile? Come on, guys. Objectives in life. After the accident, in quotation marks is what I should say, Robotnik comes to the sudden realization that understanding nature isn't enough. One must dominate, control, and contort it. And so his goal in life is to analyze, mechanize, and ultimately pollute anything he comes across. What kind of fucking guy is out there with pollution as his primary objective? People, even the evilest people in the world, don't set out with the goal to pollute. They just want to make a lot of money. Sometimes that means you gotta pollute a bunch of stuff. But Robotnik's like, fuck that, dude. I'm gonna build plants that do nothing but pollute, which is very admirable. Robotnik wants to get back the Chaos Emeralds and set loose their chaos in the world. He also hopes to find the Grey Emerald so that he can permanently fix that chaos as a continuing unalterable state. That's weird. To do this, he must destroy Sonic. To do that, he mechanizes Sonic's multitude of animal friends, turning them into buzz bombers, jaws, caterpillars, ball hogs, neutrons, birdobots, choppers, motorbugs, carapaces, merles, all the fucking Badniks from Sonic 1. You know the fucking Badniks from Sonic 1. Guide to characters. Sonic's friends. Sonic's main buddies are Rabbit, Squirrel, Pig, Flicky the Duck, Penguin, Chicken, and Seal. Each comes from a large family and is playful and friendly. Sonic's pals make their home in the forest of Green Hill Zone. Green Hill Zone isn't really that much of a forest. Not that I'm trying to nitpick here, I'm just saying. Anyways, with Robotnik on the rampage, however, they have been scattered throughout the 6 zones, turned into mechanized warriors who try to destroy Sonic, or held captive in steel tanks at the borders of each zone. As Sonic releases his friends from captivity, they bound away in glee. What on earth? It's so weird that they give the only buddy with the name is Flicky, so they also give him like his species name. They call him a duck, and as far as I know, Flicky ain't a motherfucking duck. He's not a fucking duck, guys. He's not a fucking duck. Robotnik's mechanized minions. Oh, it's these fucking guys. It's just the guys from Sonic 1. Each tries to destroy Sonic by stinging, biting, drilling, lashing, smashing, rolling over, or bumping into him. If Sonic has no rings at the time, their attacks can be fatal. Target toe 9999. Oh, it's the Dreamcast release date. 1. Please do a Mania LP with a Kintometer. Someday. 2. Did Amy Rose write this shit? No, because there's not enough. It's not erotic Sonic fanfiction. It's just regular Sonic fanfiction. 3. Sonic 3 Knuckles bonus video. Oh, you got me. You got me good, buddy. Oh, I guess I have to do it now. We'll see. Maybe someday. Maybe in 2026. I'm sorry you missed the Kintobor. I know a lot of people missed it. It'll be back someday. Like Robotnik, each robot is thoroughly crazed and thoroughly dedicated to destroying Sonic. With limitless energy, they wander the zones of Mobius awaiting their prey with the nastiest of intentions. That wasn't nearly as amusing as Flicky the Duck. This is pretty bog standard shit. The only interesting thing is that, again, it calls those special stages warps of confusion or secret zones. This is nothing. There's nothing interesting in here. You can. Yeah, this is just like if someone doesn't even know what a video game is, they're like, "What even is Sonic the Hedgehog?" Just read this. And then this part I don't understand exactly. It's art direction, Sonic expressions, winking, vulnerable, determined, cocky, surprised. There's no actual pictures to go with any of these. So at some point there was or is pictures, art direction pages, but that's it. That's the end of the Bible. It's just these pages that have poses, that have descriptions of poses that we can't see. So that's the fucking second draft of the Bible, entitled Sonic Draft 1, Sonic Bible Draft 1 .pdf. That's what they call it. I guess I have to do the next one. This is the last one. Sonic the Hedgehog Bible Draft 2, June 24th, 1991. BBFIELXFL4D. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But apparently, please input by the 26th, 6/26 at 4. Thanks. Because I guess this is according to this date is June 24th. So this one isn't going to be nearly as interesting because it's going to be a lot of the same shit that you just saw. So like the first one was like crazy shit. The second one was more like an actual Bible. This is like as far as I know, this one may have actually been canon. This actually was canon for a while. Hold on, I gotta reset my fucking Sims music. You gotta have the Sims music. Okay. Where was I? Right. So, table of contents, blah, blah, blah. This is also very much the same as the last thing that I skipped at the introduction. It's, I guess I'll just read it. Why not? I'll just read the introduction this time. Welcome to the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog, for the Sega Genesis, is the world's first supersonic hedgehog hero. In fact, Sonic's unique personality explodes with charm and is rapidly gaining him notoriety as the Hedgehog with an attitude. Programmed for high-speed fun, Sonic the Hedgehog has strong appeal for male and female players from age 6 and up, and delivers some of the brightest, boldest action you'll see anywhere. This official Sonic the Hedgehog Bible is your reference for creating and marketing Sonic the Hedgehog products. In it, you'll find guides to characters, the Sonic the Hedgehog storyline and mythology, quality control procedures, copyright and trademark usage guidelines, directions for illustration, and the exciting artwork you might decide to use in product designs, packaging, and illustrations. This Bible is for the exclusive use of Sega of America Incorporated and its business partners. Oh, excuse me, I'm not one of these business partners. I'm not Sega America. It looks like I got an illegal copy of this Bible, guys. The illustrations and or graphics it contains may be used on product packaging, labeling, and or promotional materials, only with the approval of Sega of America Incorporated. You may build upon ideas, storyline, and characters described in the Bible, but you may not contradict any information this Bible contains. Sega of America reserves the right to change the contents of this Bible at any time without prior notification. Any product related in any way to Sonic the Hedgehog, into the Sonic the Hedgehog story or character, must be approved by Sega of America Incorporated. Jeez, guys, you think they get it? According to the terms outlined in the quality control section of this Bible. If you have any questions regarding the content of this Bible or your ideas for the product development, please contact, and there's contact information. Ready for the supersonic experience? Great. Just turn the page, and you'll enjoy this. Have Sonic peeking over the corner of page here. Hey, don't believe we've met. You're probably moving too slowly. Anyway, I'm Sonic, as in Supersonic, and I want to set the record straight on a few things. So hang with me for a millisecond while I give you a news flash. First, I am not a hero. I'm a superhero, and I'm not like those other vid guys. They may claim to be super, but I'm the original. Funny thing is, I didn't even want to be great. I just am. What else could I do? Once Dr. Robotnik went berserko, I had to save my friends. Lucky for them, I also saved the planet. Second, about my speed. Lots of folks at Sega will tell you how they sweated to bits to bust my moves right through the sound barrier. Well, that's true, but they had some help. Don't want to hog any credit, but at the last nanosec, it was yours truly who pumped up the action. How did I do it? Check out the power sneakers for maxed out speed. Now everybody wears them at Sega. Oh, that's some good fucking lore right there. And last, but not least, there's the hair. My hair. It's blue, it's cool, and it's natural. Why the spikes? Simple aerodynamics. Ever try a supersonic spin attack without spikes? Okay, so now you know all about me, the superhero status, the speed, the fabulous spikes. Let's talk about you. What are you waiting for? It's time to start cruising at supersonic speed. Have some fun. Be the fastest and the greatest. Like me. See you in Green Hill Zone. Signature of Sonic the Hedgehog. I gotta say, I'm not sure what the deal with this superhero shit is, but I saw this in Stay Sonic and some other British marketing material. Actually, it was one of these old children books I saw. They were really pushing this Sonic is a superhero angle. I don't know what the fuck that means, man. I don't know what the fuck that means. Here's some trademark and copyright notice requirements. The Sonic the Hedgehog logo must always be followed by an elevated TM. The Sonic the Hedgehog name in print must be followed by the elevated TM the first time it is used on each page or surface. All artwork must include the following copyright notice. Copyright, year of first publication, Sega of America Incorporated. All rights reserved. All publications of printed materials, hang tabs, labels, packaging, advertising, catalogs, and other, must contain the trademark legend preceding the copyright notice. Sonic the Hedgehog and the distinct likeness thereof are trademarks of Sega of America Incorporated. Sega and Genesis are trademarks of Sega Enterprises Ltd. Copyright, year first publication, Sega of America, all rights reserved. Your packaging labeling must make it clear that you are the manufacturer of the licensed product, not Sega. Your name and address must appear on, and your name must be in larger type than the Sega copyright notice and the trademark legend. The Sega logo may not be used. Proper usage of the trademark and copyright notices must be approved by Sega of America Incorporated. Be sure to submit all work for approval prior to final printing or manufacture. Gotta follow the rules, guys. That's exactly right. You gotta follow the rules. Okay. I don't want to read this. This is fucking boring. This is just talking about quality control. I don't know how to draw, so none of this means anything to me. But if you wanted to learn about quality control for Sega Sonic licensees in 1991, this is where you do it. This is where you do it, guys. This is where you do it. Okay, so like I was trying to say earlier, I think the most interesting part of Draft 2 is probably that fucking... that canon letter written by Sonic. You gotta admit. And we got to see what his signature looked like. It literally looks like the typed text signature of Sonic the Hedgehog. So yeah, just like the last... There's that whole thing where Dr. Robotnik and Sonic are not flat characters. Each is a true individual. And I'm not sure they really convinced me on that. Alright, here. There is something else different that I'm going to read. See if you can spot the differences between last time. Orphaned at an early age, Sonic grows up in the forest of the Green Hill Zone and falls in with a clan of rambunctious animal friends. His friends teach him all the tricks they know. From Johnny Lightfoot, the rabbit, Sonic learns how to outrun every other creature in the forest. From Sally Acorn, the squirrel, he learns how to jump incredible distances. And Porker Lewis, the pig, teaches him to fear fire. What the fuck? Did he hold him down and burn him or something? What the fuck is that shit? Teaches him to fear fire? That's kind of like kind of innate in most animals. Flicky the bluebird. Flicky the bluebird, huh? Not Flicky the duck. Flicky the bluebird influences Sonic with her happy, fearless approach to life. Didn't really teach Sonic anything, just influenced him. So that's pretty weak. Joe Sushi, the walrus, shows him how to dive and swim underwater. Again, he can't swim, so what the fuck. And Tux, the penguin. And from Tux the penguin, Sonic picks up the skill of finding air bubbles underwater. See, that's an actual water skill that could have been used. But most important of all, Chirps, the chicken, Cucky, that's Cucky baby, inadvertently helps Sonic develop the technique for his supersonic spin attack. As Chirps is learning to fly, he tumbles head over heels out of the nest. Sonic teases Chirps by imitating him. But as he tumbles, Sonic builds up so much speed that he becomes a blur of quills and fur. And before Sonic knows it, he's drilled a hole through the side of the mountain. Wow. Think about that, guys. Think about that. All of Sonic's friends, they all have to share this opening paragraph, which also starts off with a minor description of Sonic's life. But Cucky, aka Chirps, but we all know who that really is. Oh, Cucky gets his own paragraph. Most important of all, Chirps, aka Cucky. Think about that, guys. That's saying there were only like 8 characters, but there are only 2 characters that matter. There's Sonic and Eggman / Ivo Robotnik. So they're saying the most important animal character is Cucky. That means Cucky's the third most important Sonic character in the Western canon. Think about it. Think about it, guys. I always fucking told you guys Cucky was important, and you always thought I was fucking joking. That ain't a fucking joke, guys. Cucky is the most important character, really, when you actually think about it. Anyways, Sonic meets Dr. Robotnik after accidentally tunneling into his secret underground lab. Robotnik, before he turns evil, befriends Sonic and lets Sonic visit from time to time. When Robotnik, okay, yeah, so this is mostly, again, all the Kintobor stuff. They really don't fuck with that much. No, you remember the physical characteristics / abilities in Bible Draft 1? I believe. Where was this? Where was this draft character? Sonic is short, agile, and totally cool. Whereas now, now he's good-looking, agile, and totally cool. Oh, these fucking manlets just get blown the fuck out. They have to cover up the fact they're short by changing the canon. Also, for some reason, they can never keep a consistent. Did he go 761 miles an hour? Did he go 765 miles an hour? Did he go 760 miles an hour? It doesn't stay consistent, guys. I'm not sure what the deal with forest smarts are. Forest smarts. What is the deal with forest smarts? It's like street smarts. Is that racist? I don't know enough about race relations to know if calling it forest smarts is racist, but I feel like it's definitely racist. Well, that's pretty much everything. Oh yeah, there's another. I was trying to think, like, what else is different? There's not much different. It talks about eating fast food. It talks about all this shit. This philosophy. Here's something weird. Apparently Dr. Ivo Robotnik is supposed to be pronounced Evo Robotnik. Specifically says pronounced Evo. Thing is, I'm not gonna fucking do that because that's stupid. But apparently Dean Sitton, his idea was we should call him Evo Robotnik because Evo, it sounds like evil, you know? It sounds like it. Problem is, that's not a name. That's stupid. I'm not doing that. So I'm not doing that. So I'm just gonna call him Ivo Robotnik. Slash, I don't actually call him Ivo. Nobody calls him by his first name. Also, you gotta say Ivo Robotnik, Ov Kintobor. It is kind of neat how Ov is kind of like ovum, like an egg, like the Latin prefix for egg or whatever. But fuck. Okay. Is there anything else particularly? I know the ending is some weird shit. Again, the fucking names, guys. Johnny Lightfoot, Sally Acorn, Porker Lewis, Chirps. What is this Chirps shit? Look at like Flicky the Bluebird is like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's like name the animal, you know, like that's a format. But then there's like the first name last name format, and then there's just one name, including Tux and Chirps, which is like, what the fuck? Why can't it just be consistent? It's not fucking consistent. So the art direction last time was like nothing. I had no idea what the fuck was going on with that art direction. But here they actually have like, it sort of explains what they want. Sonic must appear youthful, tough, and cocky, but also cute. They didn't really do too much cute in Western marketing from what I could tell there. It seems like they're way more focused on cool. Quills should be neat and spiky. There should be energy, action, and movement to the illustrations of Sonic. When illustrating Sonic at rest, he should still appear cool, energetic, and in control, not slothful or sluggish. It's very specific, but look, it even gives you the exact Pantone color callouts that you would need to do this if you knew what that meant. You can see what his fur is, 100C over 40M blue. You can see what the inside of his ears are supposed to look like, his eyes, pupils, lips, nose, muzzle, tummy, and arms. Look at that, guys. Muzzle, tummy, arms. Tan, not blue. Not blue arms. Think about it. And then there's also similar art direction, I believe, for Robotnik. Oh boy, there's art directions. I forgot. There's still these art directions, but I still don't know what these mean. Like, it's like, I think this must have been given with some other material, like a separate thing that has those reference drawings, because they're not included in the Bible. Anyways, let's see what it has to say about Robotnik. Robotnik must appear nasty and evil. Torso should be nearly circular. When illustrating Robotnik in his spaceship, he should still appear evil. As in, I don't know why he wouldn't appear evil, but I guess that is saying he needs to look extremely evil at all times. Look at Sega to provide copy direction. Like, I can't help you here, guys. Can't help you here. Oh my god, there's a whole fucking page talking about the Sonic logo. I don't know if I have time to read this. Okay. Sonic Myth, this is mostly stuff, repurposed stuff from the original. Here. Let's just fucking read it. A tale told quickly is a tale told well. Well, at least according to Sonic, since this is Sonic's Bible, we'll comply with his wishes and tell this story briefly. Immediately following the myth, to help bring the characters of Sonic and Robotnik to life, we include 3 snapshot scenes from the story. Each scene is cued in bold letters from within the story. You may want to read the story straight through, or pause when you hit a scene, detour to the scene, and then read this story, return the story. So it's kind of weird. See, like, look, there's like a part where it says scene 1, and I guess I could scroll all the way down to read scene 1. But look, you recognize this shit, right? Look. Well, look what we have here. Arenaceus Europaeus, a trim, mustachioed man in a white lab coat, or bent over Sonic. See, it's mostly the fucking, just exactly how it was in the whatchamacallit, in the original draft. But I'll read the abridged version, why not? The story begins on the planet Mobius, at an unspecified point in time and space, so they finally ditched the 21st century shit, I guess. Sonic the Hedgehog, an orphan, grows up with his forest friends in the Green Hill Zone. From each of his animal friends, he picks up different skills and characteristics, not all of them good. Okay, here we go. Forest smarts. It's the fucking forest smarts part again. They really were like insistent on this thing that Sonic needs to learn stuff. He needs to learn stuff from his animal pals. He has to learn everything from his stupid fucking friends. I don't know what the deal with that is, but yeah. Forest smarts. Sonic is an avid explorer, and one day tunnels into the laboratory of Dr. Ovi Kintobor. Kintobor is a brilliant scientist who is trying to improve Mobius by ridding the planet of evil. To do this, he invents the amazing transforming machine. ATM! They literally call it the fucking ATM. Couldn't you have come up with any other acronym besides ATM? They couldn't. Which can attract and transfer evil from one object into another. He also searches for and finds the perfect objects for the transfer. 6 dazzling emeralds, which he calls the Chaos Emeralds. Ooh, okay, I guess Kintobor named them now. Also, in the first one, it implies he cut the emeralds. The Tiffany cut. He did that himself. So there were, like, raw emeralds. I don't know why the raw emerald wouldn't be more powerful, but fucking whatever. What are you going to call it? Okay, I'm not gonna read this whole fucking thing. This is literally mostly just verbatim stuff. Although there's a few. The thing is, it's just giving me pause because there's a few sentences like, Kintobor even invents special red sneakers for Sonic, which protect his feet from the intense heat generated by the friction on his soles. This whole Kintobor made Sonic's shoes meme. I don't know why this had to be a thing. I guess they just wanted to make like all of the backstory contained here, like every possible thing. Why Sonic blue? Because of Kintobor. Where does his fucking shoes come from? Oh, because of Kintobor. You know what I'm fucking saying? For some reason, they give you an exact timeline of the fucking the transformation sequence, which I think is hilarious. One fateful afternoon, Kintobor is taking a break from his experiments with the ATM. Sonic is hanging out nearby, reading a comic book, when Kintobor suggests they have a snack. Sonic raids the lab refrigerator, but finds only a single hard-boiled egg. P.U., are you sure you want to eat this? I think it's rotten, Sonic says, handing the egg over to Kintobor. Unfortunately, at this precise moment, a wave of solar radiation bursts through a hole in the ozone layer and hits the lab. Several astonishing things happen. Sonic tries to grab Kintobor and dive behind the lead-shielded base of the ATM, but, okay, see, they changed the weird, container that he hid in originally that contained the emeralds to the lead-shielded base. Okay. But it succeeds only in crashing both of them into the ATM. The ATM goes bananas and zaps the Chaos Emeralds, Kintobor, and the rotten egg in his hand. The ATM begins to transfer some of the evil stored in the Chaos Emeralds over to Kintobor, changing him into the evil Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Robotnik immediately takes on the physical characteristics of the egg, ballooning to grotesque proportions, and the radiation blast blows up the ATM, scattering its golden rings throughout the zone. So, it's so weird that they're trying to provide lore reasons for the rings. You just gotta accept the rings as something that does not make any goddamn sense. So, yeah. It's pretty much the fucking same. I think you guys have pretty much gotten the gist of it. And the only other thing that this has is it has a guide to the zones. Again, it's so weird they try to explain where did the PCs come from? Where did the monitors and Sonics come from? When did they explain the fucking lampposts? Where did I guess they're just lampposts. I guess you can just buy that they're just lampposts. But yeah, there's a very simple description of Green Hill Zone. Again, this is just for if you were some guy who owned a company and you're yeah, let's do a promotion of Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, I don't know anything about Sonic the Hedgehog. Boom. Tells you everything you need to know about Green Hill Zone. Tells you everything you need to know about Marble Zone. And so on and so forth. For all the zones. Fucking PDF files. Here we go. This is what I was fucking talking about. Warps of Confusion. Here we go. Finally. Special zones, secret zones. Why does it have to have 3 different motherfucking names? Why can't it just be called one thing? The Warps of Confusion are surreal bonus rounds occurring after each zone is successfully completed. Not after every zone. You have to have certain entering. Okay, whatever. Sonic rolls and bounces off the walls of a huge maze which rotates 360 degrees. The background is a hypnotic, floating, Escher-styled pattern of birds, fish, and geometric shapes, which within each warp is a chaos symbol. Okay, that's the last fucking page. You guys get it right. You guys get the Sonic Bible. I just wanted to make sure my guys, my buddies, they just got a taste of that Sonic Bible. And I didn't want this stream to go on for too long. Just wanted to do a little test stream. I have never, ever streamed on fucking YouTube before. And I had no idea what I was doing. I had absolutely no fucking clue what the fuck I was doing. And I just winged it. And it was alright. I gotta get in the habit. Gotta get in the habit of streaming on a more regular basis. Probably do some more streaming. Maybe I'll do some streaming on Twitch. Maybe I'll stream on YouTube. So hard to figure out what the fuck am I supposed to... What am I supposed to stream on? What does everybody do? What does everybody else do? I'll just do what everybody else does. But, yeah. I'm gonna call it for tonight. But hopefully, I'll be back soon.